TerranScapes video. This video shows a recently completed display board, and I just wanted to give you a chance to see another display board with a little bit of a different look, a couple different features on it. So first, describing what the display board is for. This board is for a Skaven army, and the customer has a lot of models. Anybody who knows Skaven for Warhammer Fantasy, it's a swarm army, so it's got a ton of individual models and large blocks. So most of the board needed to be quite wide open, but he did request that there be some fall-themed trees in the back with some foliage scattered about. And most importantly, he wanted a place for his Hell Pit Abomination. The Hell Pit Abomination sits on a large base. It's 100 millimeters by 60 millimeters, and he's modeling it to come up out of the ground, sort of digging out of a pit and emerging. So when he asked me about how I could work with that, I said that, you know, what we could do is we could build up a berm of soil that would then slot in the base, and he plans on cutting off some of the back of the model and tipping it back, and then you could slide it in here so it would look like, depending on how he models the actual base to match, it would look like it's coming out of the ground. The customers, all the bases on his miniatures have Woodland Scenics Harvest Gold static grass with a black or dark, gray base with dry brush with what is it? A shadow gray. And shadow gray is a very blue gray. It's made by Citadel Paints, GW, and it's got a lot of blue in it, a very cool gray color. And so when I actually started painting this up, I ended up kind of going a little light on that and then going up a little bit brighter than that for a final highlight, something more akin to Space Wolves gray. And then I even brushed over a couple areas a little bit lighter than that. In some patches I kind of muted down. I don't know, I was a little afraid of giving a very overall blue tone to the soil. Now, of course, most of the soil isn't really going to show, as a tremendous amount of this space is going to be covered with miniatures when he's showing them. But it's, with a large surface like this, I was really reluctant to have that blue tone really come through, because I don't really think that's going to come through on individual models when you're looking at those bases. Let's see, what other things should I mention? So I did add, just to add a little variety, I did just mount a few, let's see here, I guess I can bring this up closer. I did mount a few rocks just in this corner, just to give a little, I don't know, something else on the board to look at besides the trees in the back. I did put a similar rock in the back here to go with the trees, and but I tried to keep it really quite small, because he's really got a lot of, like I said, a lot of space that's going to be occupied by models, and I was itching to sort of stick on little bits in a couple other spots, but I refrained from it out of fear for taking up too much space. Let's see, a couple other notes. The trees, let's see if I can give you a good close-up of the trees. The trees are made with Woodland Scenics fine foliage. Now, their fine foliage is basically, it's static, I'm sorry, it's not static grass. It is actual branches from a small plant, maybe like some kind of sage or something very fine textured, and then they spray it with an adhesive and glue the foliage onto it. So it produces this really amazing, fine, detailed look when you finish the tree. They're a little hard to assemble, though, because you have to break off the clumps and then kind of glue them in with hobby tack in different spots, but they don't have a lot of good attachment points. And because it's made with real branches, let's see if I can give you a real close-up. Maybe you can see, oh, there's a good one right there. So you can see a little bit. But see how loose some of those pieces are? Really struggled to make that as durable as I normally would. But since this is for a display base, it's not something that's going to be receiving a lot of wear and tear, hopefully, like as a tabletop piece would during gaming, where you're moving woods around and moving models through them. So I feel like it's probably okay on a display board, but I wouldn't normally recommend that for tabletop, terrain pieces in general. This also, in the color, of course, is a little bit, well, it seems all right, actually, at a distance. It seems like it was washing out a little bit up close. But it gives you another sense of a different frame for this. This frame is same style as the previous one, which has, let's see if I can show you the profile. There we go. It has a step down, which is really nice and gives just a little bit of a highlight to the inside edge of the frame. But this is in the brown color, which also has some very light tan streaking in it. And I thought that'd be a good match, because of course with the Skaven, there's a lot of browns in the Skaven, and this light tan streaking kind of ties in a little bit with the harvest gold color of the flock, which is you know, a nice way to kind of unify the piece as a whole. I was a little bit concerned about going with some of these warm colors against this very cool background for the soil, but I think overall it works pretty well. And again, it's going to be covered by miniatures, so it's going to look quite a bit different when it's in use. But I thought I'd give you a quick look at that, another display board. And I'll have this up on the site in a day or so you can take a look at some of the close-up photos of it. Of course, if you have any questions about display boards, or you want to see any of the ones I've made, you can always go to TerranScapes.com, and that's where you can find all the pictures, contact information, links, other YouTube videos, and whatever else I've managed to put up there over the last few years. So I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll talk to you soon.